I just got done watching A Thousand Blows season 1, and thank God that this is getting another season. This is only 6 episodes long, so I was thinking that this was only going to be like a limited series, but man, this had me hooked. So I'm gonna do my best job to kind of break this down. This story follows Hezekiah Moscow. He is a man from Jamaica going to London to be a lion tamer. He's also there with his best friend and his brother, not by blood though, Alec. Also, this follows Mary Carr. She is the leader of the 40 Elephants, this all-female group of thieves, which, man, I really like the introduction to all of this, like how Hezekiah, like, first sees Mary and how her group of thieves are a bunch of pickpocketers, and how she doesn't really play about her money, as you could see really early on. Jason Tobin is in this. You might recognize him from Warrior as Young June. In this, he plays Lau. And Lau and Hezekiah already kind of have this bond, or they have this connection, because Hezekiah's grandmother knows Chinese. I think they allude to her being Chinese. I forget that little detail, but anyways, there's their connection. So Hezekiah and Alec obviously go to London. They're broke, and they come up with this idea, yo, let's go fight these white boys, you know what I'm saying, and get some money. We get introduced to Sugar's younger brother, Treacle, and he ends up fighting Alec, and Alec gets his ass whooped by him. This is the first time that Mary and Hezekiah actually interact and talk to one another. And you could see right off the bat that she's digging Hezekiah, because, like, he's not intimidated by her. He knows her tricks for the most part. And you see this guy Sharky pop up a lot in the first episode. He's kind of crashing out over Mary because he's like, you know, over the moon with her, but she doesn't play that shit. But Hezekiah gets a real quick reality check on where he's at, because once he goes to see about the job of being a lion tamer, he sees that there's this racial thing kind of behind it, where he's the actual attraction, and he says, oh, fuck that, and he starts to step in the ring. And then this is where we get our introduction to Sugar, played by Stephen Graham, which Stephen Graham does not get enough credit for just his resume as an actor. I really like that. And we also get to see a little glimpses of Hezekiah's, like, upbringing, where his father rebelled against the Redcoats, and he also sees a bunch of Redcoats around, so that kind of gets him out of there. But, you know, he gets into a fight with Sugar, gives him his first L, and man, let me tell you, like, Sugar does not like that at all. You know what I'm saying? He holds a huge grudge this whole time. And we see Sharky come back, and Lau trying to pretty much tell him, like, look, you could do more. And before he can kind of, like, even sober up, he gets ran over. He's dead. And this is a perfect opportunity for Mary to use Hezekiah to get rid of the body, dump the body into the river, and also kind of tell Hezekiah her plan. Her big overall scheme is that she wants to rob the Queen of England. And also, like I said, Sugar is just here in this scene, just plotting on just getting his revenge. He doesn't want to even hear what his brother has to say about going professionally. Now, back to Mary, because Mary's a really interesting character, and you see this girl, Alice, which when I saw her, I was like, yo, is that Callie from Yellow Jackets? Because, like, she has super blue eyes, and I was just like, that shit kind of stuck out. Could have been a different actress, but you see Alice here. She is trying to be a part of the elephants and whatnot, and she has to do a lot to prove herself to Mary. Meanwhile, Hezekiah pulls up on Sugar to see what's going on with him. Like, why is he feeling some type of way? Because there's just rumblings that, like, you know, he's not going to take this loss sitting down. And so this whole time you're thinking, like, oh, it's going to be building up to them having this rematch, this big ass rematch, because Sugar just cannot stand to lose, as Lau pretty much tells him. Now it's established that Mary has a certain set of rules when it comes to the girls, like not to have emotions, but you see that Eliza is another one of the girls, a part of the gang, is starting to be a little flirty with the tailor that is supposed to make this outfit for what Mary has planned to rob the Queen of England. And so now, with Sugar just on the warpath, like he doesn't care if Hezekiah dies or he lives. He wants to just see his body on the canvas. So what Mary ends up doing is breaking Hezekiah's finger so they can kind of delay this whole kind of rivalry going on between these two. While that's going on, you see the tailor that was messing with Eliza goes to blow up this building, but ends up killing some cops in the process, which puts a lot of heat on them. Them being the elephants, we also get introduced to Jane, which is the Mary's mom. Taught her everything she knows, tells her like what you're about to do is stupid. You're in over your head, and she probably should have listened. And Alice is kind of doing her thing, getting things for Mary, just kind of being an errand girl for the most part. Her job is to pretty much get the list of the guests that are going to be at this party. You see Alec just kind of having this pep talk with, not really a pep talk, but trying to let Hezekiah know that you really can't trust this woman or these white people for anything. You know, they're going to use you. Once they're done using you, they're just going to kind of throw you away. So now all this pressure from these cops that got killed is starting to weigh down on Sugar, because, you know, Sugar is the main dude in this town. He runs the town. He's able to pay off the cops, but the cops is like, yo, we need to figure out who did this, you know, give this person up to me, and this can all go away. As Mary and Hezekiah start to kind of grow closer to one another, Mary is also starting to break her own rules here. But she's also trying to show him, oh, look all the stuff that you could have. Like, look at the upper class and see how the whites live over here and stuff like that. And trying to introduce him to people like Peggy over here that runs this boxing organization. So with now Sugar feeling some type of way towards Mary for bringing Hezekiah around, and he kind of feels slighted by the whole thing. Eliza's dude, the tailor, has this infection, and we see his arm having to be cut off, and he's able to kind of get to safety for the most part. Eliza ends up just not taking the offer to go with him. She's ride or die with the elephants. Hezekiah, on the other hand, is constantly training because he finally gets a moment to kind of prove himself to Peggy and stuff that, you know, I'm the person that you want to kind of represent. While you have this all kind of going on, Alec is constantly warning him, like, be careful of these people, man. You can't really trust them. So the first match goes really well, but then Sugar comes in and kind of just gives this whole speech and says, you know, he doesn't respect none of this stuff. He doesn't respect boxing. He respects, you know, brawling, just bare knuckle fighting. Now, going back to Eliza, she started to get cold feet about this whole plan. Like, it's one thing to rob the Queen of England. You were also trying to rob the Chinese emperor and whatnot, and this is kind of treason. So she kind of backs out, and things kind of start to move forward. We get introduced to this other character that is kind of pretty much the host, drawing a blank on his name, Nicholas, I believe. But then we see more of Sugar and his brother's family, and how there's a lot of disconnect. He's just not really all there. But he also gets an offer from Peggy to kind of be represented as well, to take things professionally. Um, really interesting stuff here that's going on. Like I said, we continuously see Alec just not really liking the vibes here, not really rocking with Mary. Even though Mary clearly, is feeling Hezekiah, she's not supposed to, but they are constantly getting closer and closer. Finally, we get to the dinner, which this is like episode 4, and we start to see the plans being put into motion. We get this epic scene between Hezekiah and this guy that had something to do with the British like invading Jamaica, where he was from, and pretty much putting him in his place, as he should. But as things are kind of going into motion, the plan seems like everything is going well. Lau's there to kind of be a translator, but he has his own personal motives. He ends up killing the dude that was with the Chinese emperor, which kind of fucks up this whole entire plan, man. And Alice, she serves one of the like kind of higher ups. She gets pretty much caught, but the lady doesn't say anything. Hezekiah, pretty much while this is all going on, is making up a distraction, but it ends up kind of working in his favor. Not so much everybody else, because now we get to episode 5, the last 2 episodes. The silver that they stole is worth nothing. It's all silver plated. Everybody's kind of just disappointed. There's a rift between Mary and Eliza, and just everybody, and there's a target on their head. Just everything's a mess right now. You start to see characters spiraling, like Sugar, because he just can't stand to be fucked over, and he gets fucked over with Penny. Mary's not able to pay Hezekiah, and Alec kind of warned him about that. And you see Hezekiah start to do these weird promos that are very racial in tone and whatnot. Lau is on the run. Hezekiah is protecting him. Mary wants Hezekiah to give up Lau so it doesn't kind of come down on her and the girls, which she does kind of. She's able to kind of put 2 and 2 together. But also Mary and Hezekiah finally do the do, you know what I'm saying? While Sugar's kind of crashing out, he's seeing that he feels like his brother has betrayed him or is going behind his back doing shit. He also sees that Hezekiah was in Mary's room, so that makes him even more upset. Which, when Mary goes to ask Sugar for protection, he declines, and he's just upset. So then this leads to one of the saddest episodes, which is episode 5, where we see Alec getting ready. He's got his best fur coat on. Everything's looking good. Hezekiah, he's doing well. He's winning his matches, but then Alec ends up dying, getting stabbed by somebody that has something to do with the elephants. Mary knows this, and she kind of pretty much keeps this from Hezekiah because she doesn't have too many allies right now on her side. Everybody's kind of doing their own thing. Very emotional episode, and him having to deal with the loss of a loved one like that, and Mary obviously feeling guilty because of that, which also leads Sugar to crash out even more because he fought his brother, almost beat him near halfway to death. Hezekiah also feeling guilty for seeing Lau in this situation. So now Mary also has a plan to kind of break Lau out, faking his death, putting a body in there. Things between Sugar and his brother just not looking really good in the meantime. So now Hezekiah has to kind of deal with this big championship fight that he's kind of been working really hard getting towards, but he has to show up here by himself with Alec not by his side, and you got people wanting to throw this match. So once this match kind of goes on, it's actually a pretty decent match. He ends up knocking the dude out, the champion. They try to make it seem like he's dead, and it was a lose-lose for him regardless, even though he beat him fair and square. They try to dip out, but they go to Sugar spot, and the series, well, the season ends with Sugar and Hezekiah having a discussion about Mary. And Sugar pretty much lets Hezekiah know, like, Mary knows exactly who killed Alec. And this is where these two part ways forever. And Hezekiah pretty much tells Mary, "You're dead to me." Very sad. And I'm so glad that they are going to have a part 2 or a season 2, because that's going to be very action packed. I can't wait. All the actors here did a great job. I really like Malachi Kirby in this. You could add him to the list of recast T'Challas. You know what I'm saying? But let me know how you guys feel about this in the comments below. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.